Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that may otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips to balance in favor of fair use. This is for educational purposes only. Fair use is in full effect. Psalms 58:1. Do you indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yeah, in heart ye work wickedness. You weigh the hands, Shalakia. You weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. Here go the point. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Let's hear some more lies coming out of the mouth of Esau, Edom.
Settler violence in the West Bank continues to rise, and that does threaten some regional stability. Settler violence in the West Bank continues to rise, and that does threaten some regional stability. How are you addressing that?
Well, first of all, I think it's much bloated. You know, when they're talking about it, they're talking about a handful of kids. We actually located. It's about 70 kids. They're not from the West Bank. They're actually come from teenagers who come from broken homes, and they do things like chopping the olive trees, and sometimes they try to burn a home. I can't accept that. That's vigilantism. I'm taking that out.
Teenagers that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is referring to, effectively terrorists, are usually accompanied by their terrorist parents. So the idea that they're just, wild, unruly teenagers from broken homes is laughable, to say the least.
They're accompanied by the IDF too, the Israeli Defense Forces. If you try to stop them from chopping down an olive tree or burning your home, guess who's gonna fuck with you? The IDF.
But that whole statement you heard from Netanyahu, bald-faced lie. And he claimed during this interview with Fox's Brett Baer that, just a few dozen rowdy teens are responsible for all the terror, all the damage, all the land theft, all the home theft that's been carried out by Israelis in the West Bank. All that settler violence that you've seen on camera, it's all part of your imagination, right? I mean, if Netanyahu's mouth is open, he is lying. Okay, he is incapable of telling you anything that is honest or true. So he pointed the finger at Palestinians, by the way, insisting that the Israelis, well, they're the true victims. The West Bank, which is not governed by Hamas, had nothing to do with October 7th whatsoever, has been met with unfathomable violence to the point where over 1,000 Palestinians have been slaughtered by settler violence in the West Bank. And you have this pathetic, genocidal clown lying to the American people while sucking up our resources to commit these atrocities, lying to the American people and making it seem as though the real victims are the aggressors and the terrorists who are raining terror on the Palestinians in the West Bank.
Settler violence in the West Bank continues.